A quick reminder, if you're enjoying the videos, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Thanks for watching. Okay, good morning folks. You have to excuse my voice. My son bought me this new Oculus 2 and we've been playing a lot on that thing and I've been screaming like a wild man, so the voice is gone a little bit. The reason I'm here today is to do a follow-up on that coffee video where you save $1,500 on making coffee. We found a way to make further savings, and I'd like to give a shout out to one of my subscribers, Graham Matthews. Graham is also a YouTuber, and if you guys want to check out his YouTube channel, go to Tag Drone Photography. He's a very, very accomplished drone photographer, and he's got some amazing videos on his YouTube site. Just of beautiful photography and beautiful scenes and vistas and stuff like that. Thanks, Graham, for the advice and the tips on what to do to save more money on making coffee. I'm going to share all that advice you gave me with everybody else here. So I'm just going to give you guys a brief history of this beautiful beverage that we love, and then we'll take it over to Dean's Coffee House and I'll get into making the coffee and I'll explain how we've made a savings. And I'll tell you where we're getting the new beans from and the new pods and stuff like that. So let me give you a quick brief history of coffee. So I'm reading this from the National Coffee Association's website. And I'm going to go into news presenter mode and read it like a news presenter for you guys. So here goes. Coffee grown worldwide can trace its heritage back centuries to the ancient coffee forests on the Ethiopian plateau. There, legend says, the goat herder, Kaldi, first discovered the potential of these beloved beans. The story goes that Kaldi discovered the coffee after he noticed that after eating the berries from a certain tree, his goats became so energetic that they did not want to sleep at night. Kaldi reported his findings to the abbot of the local monastery, who made a drink with the berries and found that it kept him alert through the long hours of the evening prayer. The abbot shared his discovery with other monks at the monastery, and knowledge of the energizing berries began to spread. As word moved east and coffee reached the Arabian Peninsula, it began a journey which would bring these beans across the globe. Coffee cultivation and trade began on the Arabian Peninsula by the 15th century. Coffee was being grown in the Yemeni district of Arabia. And by the 16th century, it was known in Persia, Egypt, Syria, and Turkey. Coffee was not only enjoyed in homes, but also in the many public coffee houses called, now, forgive me here, if you guys want to check out the pronunciation of these words and work it out for yourself, please go onto the website. I'm going to give it a go though. So these houses were called kave. That's probably where we get the word coffee from. And kane, which began to appear in cities across the Near East. The popularity of the coffee houses was unequaled, and people frequented them for all kinds of social activity. Not only did the patrons drink coffee and engage in conversation, but they also listened to music, watched performers, played chess, and kept current on the news. Coffee houses quickly became such an important center for the exchange of information that they were often referred to as schools of the wise. I can't argue with that. It's a very wise thing to go to a coffee house. With thousands of pilgrims visiting this holy city of Mecca each year from all over the world, knowledge of this wine of Araby began to spread. Coffee came to Europe. European travelers to the Near East brought back stories of an unusual dark black beverage by the 17th century. Coffee had made its way to Europe and was becoming popular across the continent. So there you go, folks. That's just a brief history of coffee. I'm going to go over to Dean's Coffee House and get going on making the coffee. I'd also like to give a shout out to one of my other subscribers in England, Malcolm Davison, who asked that we show more of the coffee making process in the video. So Malcolm, I hope you enjoy the coffee making process that I'm going to attempt to make for you, and keep watching, and I hope you keep enjoying the videos. Okay folks, we now in Dean's Coffee House. Just full disclosure, because I'm trying to be factual, I'm going to be reading notes, okay? So bear with me. The advice Graham gave me was to go online and look for reusable Nespresso pods. So I went on Amazon and I found Nespresso pods that are compatible with our Nespresso machine. And these are the ones I found. You get 6 of these reusable pods in a bag. They come with this little coffee scoop and this little brush in the bag, and it costs $16.99. I'll put a link in the description to those reusable coffee pods. So the other bit of advice he gave us was to buy our own beans and get them ground up. This took me down a rabbit hole that you guys cannot imagine. I researched different blends, different types of coffees, and what I finally settled on was a nice blend, an Arabian Mocha Java from these guys here, Misha's Coffee House. The 2 coffees are a perfect match. The light tangy coffee of Yemen is balanced by this full sweet coffee of Java. So what we found was when we've been drinking this, I said to Linz, what do you think? She was like, I'm not sure if I noticed the difference. I said, did you notice like a bit of a blossomy? Then she was like, yeah, there's really like a blossomy flavor. You can taste like a blossom. It's almost like an orange blossom, but it isn't. And no jokes, folks, you can taste that. It's amazing. They're in Alexandria, Virginia. They're an artisanal coffee roaster and coffee house. So I got hold of them, and they sent me this bag of coffee beans. They ground it up for me. They personalized it really nicely and sent this little note here. And it comes in this really awesome bag. The nice thing about the bag was you can seal it after you open it. It's got these little jazzy little clips on it that you can seal it. The only thing we didn't like about the bag was putting the coffee in these pods is a bit finicky, and you have to play around with it a bit and you can mess a bit. So we settled on recycling one of our old biscuit tins, and it's easy just to put the pod over there and scoop the coffee into the pod, and there's no mess, no fuss. So that's why we did it that way. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make the coffee, and we'll get into all of that business while making the coffee. As you can see, I'm just trying to, for time constraints here, I've already put that juicy chocolate in the cup, in the mug that I'm making the coffee in. My milk is ready to go, and I'm basically ready to go. I'll make the coffee, and we'll let you guys know about how it tastes after I've made it. So, according to my wife, who gets it right every time, I don't get it right every time. You get a heap scoop, you put it in the pod, then you tamp it down, and then you put another and tamp that down too, and just clean this off. So there we go, that's the coffee in the pod. Right, I'm going to pop the pod in the machine. There we go. Get the milk warmer going. And get this going now. So while that's going, I'm going to go on the next pod. You can actually see, so this is the reason that we chose the biscuit tin instead of the bag, because we're doing so much over the tin. Get that in the machine. So that's the cup of coffee made now. I can't wait to drink it. Like I said, we get that blossomy taste in this coffee. It's absolutely divine. All right, so the reusable pods cost $16.99 from Amazon. The bag of coffee costs $35.56, including postage. From the bag, we get 172 scoops at 2 pods per coffee. It comes to 41 cents per coffee. The Nespresso pods that we were using before cost $1.40 per coffee. So that's a further saving of $1 per coffee by 2 people. That comes to another $730 that we saved. So that's $730 saved. I hope this can help you all. I'll put links and descriptions to everything that I've talked about in the video. Now it's time for me to drink this cup of lovely and have something to eat. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. All of you take care and be safe. Bye and cheers. That's nice.